It's hard to deny that when it comes to the Cybermen of the 1960s, the stories often followed the base under siege formula. Whether it was the 10th planet, the moon base, the wheel in space, or even elements of the invasion, these stories revolved around isolated locations, dwindling resources, and the relentless threat of these metal monsters. However, sometimes the simplest approach can deliver the best results. Welcome to the Snake Pit, where we're full of bile and venom. I'm your host, Snake Daemon, and today we're descending into the icy depths of Telos to talk about the best 1960s Cyberman story, Tomb of the Cybermen. Maybe it's nostalgia speaking. After all, this story is the only complete Cyberman adventure from its era, returned to the BBC archives in 1991, and I vividly remember the excitement of its return. But more likely it's because Tomb of the Cybermen remains an unparalleled piece of classic Doctor Who, blending tension, atmosphere, and a surprisingly sinister, villainous scheme. The story opens with the TARDIS crew, the Doctor, Jamie and Victoria, landing on the planet Telos, where they encounter an archaeological team led by Parry. This team is uncovering the titular tombs of the Cybermen, long thought to have died out. The intrigue ramps up immediately as funding for the expedition has come from Kaftan, accompanied by her scheming colleague Klieg and her loyal servant Toberman. As the Doctor and Parry work to unlock the tomb's electrified doors, the dark undercurrents of this mission begin to surface. Once inside, the narrative expertly balances the human drama with the impending Cyberman threat. The crew's exploration is punctuated by deaths, sabotage, and Kaftan and Klieg's betrayal, culminating in the chilling moment when the Cybermen are revived. Maurice Barry's direction elevates the sequence to legendary status, with the Cybermen slowly emerging from their hibernation chambers, in a scene that still holds up as one of the most iconic in Doctor Who history. Modern attempts like The Age of Steel have tried to replicate this grandeur, but never quite matched its scale or impact. What sets Tomb of the Cybermen apart is its use of space and pacing. Confined to a singular location, it creates a claustrophobic tension that mirrors the best of enclosed horror stories like Night of the Demons, Saw, or even Phone Booth. The Cybermen themselves don't even emerge fully until episode 3. Instead, their presence looms large over the first 2 episodes, teased by their frozen forms in the crypt and the unnerving menace of their smaller, deadlier counterparts, the Cybermats. The Cybermats get more screen time in the first half of the story than the Cybermen themselves, keeping the tension simmering until their eventual emergence. Despite this limited screen time, the Cybermen dominate the narrative. Their plan is terrifyingly logical, luring humans to revive them so they can rebuild their forces and resume their conquest. Klieg and Kaftan's overconfidence in trying to ally with them only highlights the Cybermen's cold, unrelenting nature. The chilling monotone of the cyber controller adds another layer of dread, particularly in the scenes where he demands revitalization, showcasing how desperate and dangerous this dying race has become. The supporting characters also shine in this story. Kaftan and Klieg's ambitious scheming provides a sharp contrast to the more noble archaeologists like Parry. Meanwhile, Toberman's tragic arc, manipulated and partially converted by the Cybermen before sacrificing himself to stop them, adds an emotional weight rarely seen in this era of Doctor Who. And of course, the Doctor is at his most enigmatic and mischievous, subtly undermining the Cybermen's plans while delivering some of his most iconic lines. The brilliance of Tomb of the Cybermen lies in its ability to maintain a grand sense of scale while remaining confined to a single location. Maurice Barry's direction and the tight script ensure that every moment feels purposeful, from the tense exploration of the tomb to the final bittersweet sacrifice of Toberman. Even the cyber controller's reveal, while brief, has left an indelible mark on the series, proving that sometimes less is more when it comes to creating tension and dread. It's a story that resonates not just for its horror and suspense, but for its sheer audacity in portraying the Cybermen as a force to be reckoned with. While they've returned countless times since, few stories have managed to capture their essence as effectively as Tomb of the Cybermen did. While we're on the subject of Tomb of the Cybermen's legacy, it's worth noting that this is the story that truly deserved the honor of being colorized over the war games. From a villain standpoint, it makes far more sense to have the trinity of the Daleks, Cybermen and the Master lead the charge into colorization projects. Instead, we get a shameless reworking of the War Games, a story already burdened by revisionist meddling, like the retconning of the War Chief as an early incarnation of the Master. This kind of adjustment spits in the face of decades of rich storytelling built by novels like The Dark Path or Time Worm. Does anyone actually read anymore? Besides, the Cybermen are far better candidates for showcasing the leap into color. Imagine the iconic emergence from the tomb in full chromatic glory. And if not the Cybermen, surely a fan-favorite underdog, the Dominators, anyone would have made a more compelling follow-up. I'm Snake Daemon, and this has been The Snake Pit. Don't forget to subscribe, like the video, hit that bell, and leave your opinions in the comments, where naturally I won't read them.